Have you? No? Alright. I didn't either before I started researching this. Before?
I've never heard of the term ground level smog.
No?
Never heard of it.
Alright.
Can we just talk?
Like any pollution that like comes from like cars or something on the street, stuff like that.
So, fine.
Carbon dioxide emissions from vehicles.
Yeah, actually that is exactly it. Pretty much.
This like obviously has some correlation with the ground, and guessing like something to do with like the environment.
Yeah, so pretty much what ground level smog is just like the accumulation of like pollutants from like tailpipes and buses, and like pretty much like people that live by the freeway are exposed to like smog because all those tailpipes are constantly emitting gas and stuff like that. So this causes pollution, and that affects climate change.
It's pretty normal. Like, you see how many cars are outside, and like you can factor in the airplanes, ships, all that. So like, yeah, the environment took a toll on it because we're taking advantage of like the coal and everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty surprising. I would expect like agriculture to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like something more in your face, not something that's like kind of like low key. No.
I don't think that's surprising because like there's basically like everything that produces like air. For example, like cars, homes, stuff like that. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't really surprised either, but I was just like, dang, it really is right up there.
Yeah.
Can we just talk?
Concerned?
I didn't think those two would come like relate to each other, but now seeing as how we're trying to like build around like what's the word?
Houses?
Yeah, houses and stuff. So like we're trying to expand, so we need more land. It's like their deforestation. Like, if they deforest those stuff, more cars are gonna take their place. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I never really thought it would become a concern because not that many people actually talk about how vehicles and deforestation actually contribute to climate change, and that climate change is becoming more of a prevalent issue in society today.
But do you like understand how deforestation like contributes to it?
The burning of trees like gives off carbon dioxide.
Yeah, and also just like cutting down lots of forests, because you gotta remember, like before there was houses, all there was just trees and forests everywhere. And now what's happening is we're messing up our air, and there's not enough trees to clean the air, because remember that trees take in the bad air, carbon dioxide, and produce fresh oxygen. So that's a pretty big concern that we have to deal with.
Yeah, I would expect climate change and ground level smog, but not really deforestation.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't really think so either, but my research showed that throughout deforestation has happened in many countries, like throughout the world, and like a lot of these countries, like they have lots of forests, and these forests, you know, they have trees, and that make fresh air.
Yeah.
What we've done is we've cut all this land to build houses. We needed wood for these houses. Now those are like millions and millions of trees that we're not getting new air.
Yeah.
We're constantly messing up our air, but we're not putting in new air. Isn't that kind of wild? Like, we didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
I would say like 1920s, like right around World War I and that.
Yeah, a lot of people would assume like right when it just started, because we probably didn't think of really like clean ways to do things. Yeah, but I was surprised to learn that the most pollution was actually made from the years 2000 to 2010. Yeah, so pretty much like right while we were growing, while we were alive, and pretty sure the smogs affected us.
Maybe in the 1950s.
Right? You would think like very early on, like right when maybe in like its prime time, because the 50s is when everything was booming. But in reality, the most pollution actually happens from the years 2000 to 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty much like right when we were born, right when we were growing up. So it's affected us a lot in ways that we probably don't even know.
I'd say probably like around like the 1920s or like 1950s.
You would think it'd be very early on, right?
Yeah.
Right. I was surprised. Actually, the most accumulation of it was from 1970 to 2010, but the specific decade of the most was from the years 2000 to 2010.
Wow.
So like hella recent.
Yeah.
Like right now, pretty much. People pretty much just start realizing like everything that's been happening and all the damages that they've caused, and that's why now they're struggling to contain it, and they're really, really trying so hard to contain the smog.
Can we just talk?
I didn't think it was that like major right now, because I thought it was just like starting to realize all the effects that are actually happening. So yeah, I didn't think at all that this would happen. It's so soon.
Yeah, can you name a few chronic illnesses associated?
Like cancer, maybe.
Yeah,
Smoke,
definitely.
yeah.
So yeah,
like
you
asthma,
got
all that stuff.
lung cancer and asthma. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually is a surprise because I think like many people get asthma or lung cancer from like either smoking cigarettes or like secondhand smoke. So like climate change and like air pollution is like something that doesn't come to my mind when thinking about like these diseases.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy because like a lot of kids like in these communities, especially in the Bay Area, there's so many cars constantly, there's so much traffic. A lot of kids have been diagnosed with asthma, and it's just because of the air that they're constantly surrounded by.
To be honest, like no, it's not surprising at all because like obviously like humans need air to like breathe, right? And like as you said, like the deforestation, like we're basically cutting down trees, but we're not thinking about like the implications that it brings. And so yeah, it's not surprising because obviously like there's a lot of talk about like how we need to save the air and stuff like that. And like now like communities are like pushing people to like carpool and stuff.
I mean, like the companies like Tesla are taking like charge for electric cars, so I guess some of them, but like not really.
Yeah, so they propose some
Yeah,
solutions.
like, they don't follow through with it. So,
Do you think more should be done?
yeah.
Me too. These?
I don't think there's enough things being done to combat smog issues in communities because there could be like more of a tax incentive for people to drive electric cars and like subsidies for using less coal in factories. Those things could like lead to less smog production in society.
Right on. Cool.